I would like to bring the court to your attention that today's date, my lord, was requested by the respondent. They made a request that the first respondent will be available before this honorable court today, which the court graciously granted. It is my submission that court orders are not made in vain. Court orders were issued a while back, and it is upon this court to enforce them. My lord, assuming it was Parliament or the executive ordering for the first respondent to show up for an explanation, my lord, he will be there on the first day. It is therefore quite sad that the respondent is making a mockery of this court, my lord, and not only this court, but the judiciary as a whole. That is all, my lord.
My lord, with your kind permission, Umur, on behalf of the second petitioner, I'll make very short points, specifically on behalf of the second petitioner, and I associate with what learned counsel has said on behalf of the petitioners together. My lord, we appeared before you last week twice, and as my learned friend, Rebecca Mwengas, reminded the court, the last order the court issued for the physical appearance of the IG was made at the request of the counsel representing the IG, having consulted his client. The IG acting in the office, or in the public office of the Inspector General of Police, for the purposes of this order, includes anyone in the acting capacity in that office. The orders you issued apply to Mr. Masengeli. My lord, this court must act in the manner that it has been invited to find the Inspector General in contempt and to punish the holder of that office. My lord, the second petitioner up to date has not been found. We are here because of a matter of very grave concern. The petitioners, having laid before you more than plausible material indicating that the abduction or arrest or disappearance of the officials is at the behest of the respondents or the officers acting under their command. Must be produced before court. That initial order remains uncomplied with. My lord, as we have stated before you, the order of habeas corpus is a last resort order to indicate to the state that constitutional authority is undertaken only within and in accordance with the Constitution. And the powers of national security can only be exercised by the agencies established and set out under Article 239 of the Constitution. And no person can create a paramilitary or anyone with a command to undertake the security services set out, which are subject to the principles under Article 238 of the Constitution. Even in the very unlikely event that the persons missing are not held by the agencies who are the respondents in this matter, they still owe an explanation to this court. That is the reason why this court did not suggest, did not request, but ordered that the IG, or the person acting in the office of the IG, appear physically before this court and give this court an explanation. My Lord, we have placed before you the very clear provisions of the Constitution and authorities to support this position. My learned senior, Harvey, has this morning restated the authorities which we placed before you and the respondents last week. My Lord, we have this court, sitting on similar circumstances, has found persons of comparable authority or higher, as was the case of Mr. Matiang'i, in contempt and punished them. And my Lord, this court has been very gracious to the respondents. This court has been very ready to hear explanations, to hear requests, and in many instances be very agreeable with the respondents. But the power of this court must now be exercised, and we invite you to find the acting or the Inspector General in contempt, to punish the holder of that office, by a penal sanction of imprisonment and a pecuniary sanction of a fine, but more importantly to find that a holder of the office that does not respect the principles set out under Article 238 of the Constitution, who does not regard the command of this Constitution that national security functions must be exercised with the recognition, or under the Constitution and the recognition that they are only exercised within an accountable, civil and democratic government, should not be fit to hold office. My Lord, that is the only thing that this court can tell the victims and the people of this country. That we take the right to life seriously, and more importantly, we take the Constitution seriously. My Lord, the officers whose actions we now impugn exercise powers to summon persons in their police stations every day. If those summons were to be considered as suggestions that they do not have the force of the law, people don't appear in police stations when summoned by police officers because they fear police officers, but because that is what the law requires. So, my Lord, I invite this honorable court to make no mistake at reminding the respondents that we respect those officers because the law elevates them and clothes them with authority. Thank you very much, my Lord. That's it for the second respondent.